Good evening. In our first story, the government has fired Malawi Electoral Commission's Linda Kunje and Jean Matanga from their positions as commissioners. The government has cited incompetence as ruled by the Supreme Court of Appeal in May last year. Deogracius Mana has filed this report, read by Matthews Kasanda.
The two commissioners were found incompetent by the Supreme Court of Appeal after messing up the 2019 presidential election. In a letter dated April 7, 2021, signed by Secretary to the Government Zanga Chikosi, the government says it has rescinded the appointments by the former President Peter Mutharika in compliance with the law. Kunje and Matanga sued President Lazarus Chakwera and the electoral body for not offering them appointment letters and other benefits dating back to June 7, 2020, when the Tonse administration took power from the Democratic Progressive Party. Mutharika appointed the two to be part of the 7 commissioners to manage the court-sanctioned fresh presidential election on June 23, 2020.
Failure by Secretary to the Treasury Chances Simwaka to face the Public Appointments Committee today in Lilongwe has cost the government a wastage of 4 million kwacha through allowances. The Public Appointments Committee Chairperson Shadrack Namalomba says the committee scheduled to meet Simwaka on the ongoing public inquiries into the expenditure of 6.2 billion kwacha COVID funds. Blessings Mpinganjira has a report.
PAG Chairperson Shadrack Namalomba has described the failure by Simwaka and refusal by directors from his ministry to avail themselves on his behalf as negligence and a waste of public resources. Namalomba says he is frustrated that immediate directors from the Ministry of Finance refused to meet the committee on behalf of Simwaka.
Our expectation, though, we had expected that in the absence of the Secretary to Treasury, maybe somebody senior would lead the delegation to meet us. But even the immediate directors there, they are saying no. They have to wait for the Secretary to Treasury to come. He has to appear in person. So we are not meeting, and today we had planned that we will meet them. So today is just a waste, and this is why what we are not happy about. They knew about this meeting. We had already written them some time back, and they knew that we are going to be meeting them.
Namalomba says close to 4 million kwacha has been wasted on allowances to host the 21-member committee that availed themselves in Lilongwe to face the Secretary to Treasury, who did not show up.
Blessings Mpinganjira reading that report on the Public Accounts Committee. The High Court in Mzuzu has nullified the chieftaincy of Mtima Gondwe, who was Tembala Matemba Chikula Maembe of Rumpi District, saying the appointment was unlawful, unconstitutional and unprocedural. Judge Thompson Ligoe said Mtima Gondwe, who was crowned the Tumbuka chief on October 23, 2019, will continue serving in an acting capacity while awaiting the country's president to appoint another paramount chief. Feston Marekezo has this report.
Judge Thompson Ligoe emphasized that the power to appoint a paramount chief is vested in the president as read in Section 4 of the Chiefs Act. Ligoe cleared further that the district commissioner and minister of local government are mere facilitators. He said all they need to do is to gather information for the president. The case was brought to court for judicial review by Joseph Bungololo Gondwe, who claimed to be the right heir to the Chikula Maembe chieftaincy. Speaking after the judgment, lawyer for the applicant Michael Goba Chipeta said he is satisfied with the outcome as the court has tackled the exact nature of their complaint.
We are also very satisfied with how the court has explained how the president is supposed to appoint a paramount chief. So in this particular case, the court has clearly shown that the appointment of Mtima Gondwe as paramount chief Chikula and his installation were contrary to the Constitutional Chiefs Act, and therefore the same has been quashed and declared invalid.
In her reaction, one of the lawyers of the defendants, Shira Malola, describes the judgment as Chikula Kwagwanji died in November 2018, and his son Ntima had been the acting chief before his announced installation in 2019.
Feston Malekezo with that report. Council for Non-Government Organizations in Malawi, Kongoma, has asked the government to formalize and institutionalize dialogue mechanisms with the civil society through conducive platforms. The call was made today in Lilongwe during a joint civil society organizations communique on the state of civic space in Malawi. Wezi Gausi with a report.
As CSOs, they are worried with government attempts to silence critics and continued incidents of corruption, fraud and public plunder, as well as combatant response by government and its agencies to arrest the vice. Hence, they need a platform where they can engage with government. Executive Director for Civil Society Education Coalition, CSEC, Benedicto Kondowe, said they are concerned with lack of engagement between the government and CSOs, which is resulting in exclusion of civic actors from policy formulation and implementation.
I think many times we have demonstrated on issues that are of paramount concern to Malawians. We have also petitioned the government on several issues. But I think a fundamental question that as non-state actors we need to ask ourselves is what next? Because experience has shown that in many instances, issues would end at the point that demonstrations end.
Presidential advisor on civil society organizations, Martha Kwataine, says the civic space between government and CSOs is a cardinal element in any democratic political system. She says the TOS administration is more than ready for continued engagement with CSOs, as evidenced with the launch of Pabwalo Forum by the Minister of Civic Education, where government and duty bearers would be engaging with the society.
Government is broad and it already has so many items on its agenda. And as government, we have always encouraged the civil society actors to use the various levels of engagement. Because some of the issues raised are for the councils, others for the Rhine Ministry, maybe others they would be multi-sectoral in nature. So it doesn't mean that whenever a petition comes, then the government will quickly rush to do that. There is a process. If you do a demonstration, a petition goes to APC, OPC will look at the petition and send it to the respective line minister.
Recently, the Minister of Civic Education and National Unity has developed an online government citizen engagement platform, locally known as Pabwalo, which has been designed to foster greater communication and engagement between duty bearers and license holders.
That report from Wezi Higausi. Minister of Lands Gezi Msukwa has ordered the councils for Neno and Mwanza districts to frequently inspect projects after noting that substandard bricks are being used in the construction of police houses. Msukwa made the remarks yesterday when he visited sites where the government is constructing 20 houses for security institutions in the two districts. Thomas Kachere has more in this report.
The minister says despite the contractor catching up with time, there is need to improve on quality of bricks. He said the mixture they are using is a bit compromised. He then ordered clerks of the two councils to be on the ground all the time.
I want contractors to actually respect the contracts and be able to do things on time and with the quality that we desire. That's my message. We will not entertain a contractor who is giving us a road deal. Both on quality and even time, we need people to be able to respect the contracts, and then that way they will be friends to the ministry. Without that, we're not going to entertain them.
Mwanza District Commissioner Malango Bodomani said as a council, they will look into the issue.
Indeed, there was that issue which was noted. As a council, we have an office which is responsible for managing or monitoring buildings in the council. So we'll make sure that the clerk of council who is currently present at the council
says their operations are affected when emergency duty cause.
It's a great help to police in as you are aware, we are all renting out. There is no police officer who is housed in a government house.
Government is constructing 20 houses, 10 in each of the 2 districts.
You're watching the news coming your way from Times Television, TTV. We now take a break. We'll be back shortly.
For a better tomorrow, don't forget to do the 1, 2, 3 with Colgate every night. If there's one thing that all soaps do, it's wash. From buckets to basins, bathrooms to streams, and everything in between.
All soaps wash.
Yes, but Protex is different. Its reinvented formula with flaxseed oil boosts your skin's natural anti-germ defenses by 10 times more, protecting you against 99.9% of germs. So what keeps us healthy?
Protex!
Good health starts here.
Define your surroundings with the color of your choice. Make it warm, creative, friendly, and vibrant. Coat textures. Durable color options. With up to 1,200 color shades to choose from. Be it economy range or premium range paints, innovative paint and color technology in every drop. Available in Blantyre, Build Africa and Limby Corner Mart Building, and in Lilongwe along M12 Road close to Gateway Mall. Tropical Paints, your world in color.
Welcome back. Child rights organization Eye of the Child has threatened to drag district councils to court for not protecting, caring and providing support to street-connected children. The organization's advocacy and public relations officer, Memory Chisenga, made the remarks after noting that there is little that is being done to protect such vulnerable children by the councils. Thomas Kachere has more in this report.
Chisenga says their organization is worried as life on the street can inflict permanent injuries on children. She said their major concern is the protection of many undocumented children who could go missing with no one claiming their whereabouts. According to Chisenga, Malawi, through international and local laws, promised to protect, care and provide support to all children in need of such services. Chisenga said it is high time the Office of the Ombudsman needs to enforce its directives through all necessary structures, as failure to do so, they will have no choice but to mobilize child rights organizations and take the matter to court. However, Blantyre Social Welfare Officer Stefano Joseph said on their part, they have managed to withdraw over 60 street-connected children with support from the police. Meanwhile, Public Relations Officer for Blantyre City Council Anthony Kasunda said the council is working with Social Welfare Office and other stakeholders to ensure street-connected children are taken out of the streets.
Chief of Health Services in the Ministry of Health, Queen Dube, has warned of another wave of COVID-19 in June and July if Malawians stop adhering to COVID-19 preventive measures. Dube sounded the warning during the official handover ceremony of medical supplies from China in Lilongwe yesterday. This is what she told Wezi Gausi.
We're actually grateful to God that the numbers have gone down. But remember, we were at exactly the same spot in November, December time last year, and we thought, oh, we're done with COVID. And before we knew it, January, we were really in a bad shape as a country. So we might have numbers that have gone down now, but nobody knows what's going to happen in June, July time. So this donation actually comes at the right time. It actually helps us in our preparation for a possible third wave. You might have heard that Kenya is battling their third wave. Other European countries are also battling the third wave. We don't know what's going to happen with Malawi. So for us, this donation couldn't have come at a better time than today.
Apparently, people have relaxed out there in as far as...
And Chinese Deputy Ambassador to Malawi, Wang Shuisheng, pledged his government's continued assistance to Malawi.
I'm very pleased today. Ever since the start of COVID pandemic in Malawi, China was the first country to respond with medical supplies assistance. China will continue to do our part to help the Malawi people to fight the COVID-19.
Traditional Authority Mkanda of Mchinji District says the district will not experience hunger as most people have benefited from the Affordable Inputs program. The chief was speaking at Lameki village in the district on the sidelines of a field day organized by Sidco Company. More in this report by Emmanuel Simpokolwe, read by Fali Banda.
According to the chief, most people in his area utilize the AIP, hence the good harvest this season. Commenting on the Sidco Field Day, he said it was high time farmers start relying on the modern seed varieties if they are to benefit from their produce. Sidco agronomist James Mtiesa said maize and soya beans have done well in Mchinji, especially the Nkanda Extension Planning area. He said the field days are important as they give farmers a chance to appreciate different varieties of seed that they produce and market, which he said are of high quality and affordable.
They're actually giving the quality assurance that whenever they go to the market and buy our seed, they're going to get the real seed and not the fake seed that probably they can be duped by other suppliers. But our seed is actually of high quality, one. Two, we are assuring them of the yield. If they're to buy our seed, it means they're going to have bumper yield. One, they're going to have money at the same time, because when they've got bumper yield, they will sell the surplus to the market. At the same time, the issue of food security, that what the government is now actually promoting with the farmers, people are going to have enough food for their homes.
During the function, Sidco showcased some of their maize and soya beans varieties. Sidco is one of the leading certified seed companies authorized to market seed varieties developed by itself, government and other associate seed breeders in over 15 African countries. The company is involved in the breeding, multiplication, and distribution of high seed varieties, including maize, soya beans, among others.
UNICAF University has sponsored the Likuni Boys Secondary School of Lilongwe in awarding top performing students in the 2020-2021 academic year. The school is one of the two institutions that produced a student with 6 points in the 2020 Malawi School Certificate of Education examinations. UNICAF University Vice Chancellor Robert Ridley says the university thought it very important to recognize the achievements.
We've supported the school in the past. We've visited on several occasions to give career talks. And earlier this year we supported the school with some PPE equipment for COVID. And the headmaster kindly invited us to attend this function, and we thought that it was an important function to support the students, motivate the students to do better, particularly because of the success that the school had in having a student with 6 points. We thought that it was very important to recognize that achievement.
Alfred Mukoko is Likuni Boys Secondary School head teacher.
UNICAF has been on our side now and again. This time we just informed them that we are honoring our best performing students at the last academic year, those now in Form 2, Form 3 and Form 4. They quickly say, oh, we are coming to encourage the students and to encourage you. And so for us, it's a word of thanks to UNICAF University, because even during this period of pandemic, UNICAF University has given us a lot of things.
And now to international news.
Lockdown and stretched to the breaking point. Restaurant owners gathered in Rome Monday to protest government orders to close.
We are tired of this. We need to return to work. We can't just do it anymore.
Italy is one of several European countries struggling with a third wave of the virus. France, Germany and several other states have extended lockdowns. Doctors warn more young people are being hospitalized with the virus. Germany's Chancellor has this stark warning.
This third wave might turn out to be the toughest one of all for us.
The surge is driven by the so-called B117 variant of the virus, first identified in Britain, which was hit hard in January. But now Britain is bucking the European trend. Pubs and shops reopen Monday as hospitalizations have fallen to levels last seen in the summer. More than 60% of British adults have received a first dose of vaccine.
There is a huge third wave of COVID sweeping Europe at the moment, and that's in part due to the fact that not very high proportion of their population has been vaccinated. Vaccination programs are complicated things, and they do rely on public confidence.
Polls show public confidence in the AstraZeneca vaccine in Britain is around 75%, but a majority of people in France, Germany, Italy and Spain believe the jab to be unsafe. Confusion over trial data led to the vaccine initially being restricted to those under 65. But in a policy reversal, several countries are now restricting the vaccine to older age groups after cases of rare blood clots emerged among younger people.
These are very rare events. They still exist, but we need to balance that against the risk of developing COVID or developing severe disease or even dying from COVID. And in most places and for most people, that is a much, much, much greater risk.
Europe is trying to boost public confidence. France's Prime Minister was given the AstraZeneca vaccine on live television. After a slow start, inoculation programs are gaining speed, using vaccines from Pfizer-BioNTech, Moderna, AstraZeneca and Janssen. Germany gave a record 720,000 doses in one day last week. But Europe's troubled rollout of the AstraZeneca vaccine has implications beyond its own borders, as global public confidence in the drug appears to be falling. The AstraZeneca shot is cheaper and easier to produce than other vaccines and can be kept at normal refrigerator temperatures.
And so for all of those reasons, I think this vaccine is of utmost importance. It's kind of the backbone of the global vaccination campaign.
The African Union last week cancelled plans to procure the AstraZeneca vaccine, citing a desire to diversify its options. The bloc said the decision was unrelated to concerns over blood clots. But health experts say it could further fuel vaccine hesitancy, and they are calling for global awareness campaigns to counter misinformation. Henry Ridgewell for VOA News, London.
And that's the news for now, but before we go, the headlines again. The government has fired Malawi Electoral Commission's Linda Kunje and Jean Matanga from their positions as commissioners. Secretary to Treasury Chances Mwaka fails to appear before the Public Accounts Committee in the 6.2 billion kwacha COVID funds inquiry. And the High Court in Mzuzu has nullified the chieftaincy of Mtima Gondwe as Tembala Matemba Chikula Maembe of Rumpi District. You've been with me, Ronald Mpaso, but you can get more on these and other stories by visiting our website, www.times.mw, liking our Facebook page, Times360 Malawi, and following us on Twitter at Times360 Malawi. Remember to wash your hands regularly, observe social and physical distance, and mask up. Stay safe and have a lovely night.